Hey there, if you own a design business, then I am so glad you're here because this is the place where we're talking about being a designer who owns a business. Now today I really want to talk about the thing that you are probably ignoring, and it's the thing that most designers tend to ignore. Why? Because it's not sexy, it's not very fun, but ironically, so many of us get into this design gig so that we can own our own business, so we can be flexible, so we can work from home. You know, when I taught graphic design, that was really, people didn't go, oh, I'm going to own my own design business. Instead, they were going to go design for corporate or an agency or any of those things. But the people I teach now, those that are in my Design Suite program, really are looking to build their own design business. So what's the thing that most people ignore? And I really know most people ignore because they'll come to my design boot camp and they don't realize that I'm focusing on this one thing. And that is business. We're so busy with the first word, starting, making, creating all those beautiful designs, that we completely ignore the business part of owning a design business. And I know this because the ones that are serious about it, they end up in my Design Suite program because they understand that they don't understand business. They understand that they love the design part, and then if they can just get the business side part going, what can happen? They can start making money, they can start really building their dream career, and they understand that it's work and it's not a hobby. Those that don't come into the program, I know they understand maybe a little bit that I'm trying to teach them something that will make them money, but a lot of times what they don't understand is I'm trying to teach them business. If you guys heard all the things I hear when I come out of a design boot camp, you'd be surprised, especially if those of you who have been to a boot camp. I've heard things like, it was too basic. It was not basic enough. I didn't learn anything, which that one always surprises me because I will be in a room with amazing CEOs and business owners, and we will be being taught something pretty basic, and everyone is scribbling notes about how they can implement it in their business. Because here's the bottom line. Even if a concept is basic and you aren't implementing it, then it means that it's done no good for you. It doesn't matter that it was a basic concept. You're not doing it. You're not taking any action steps. And what I always want in my design boot camps, especially if you're about to come into one, is that you are implementing it. That you're taking the things I teach you in a design boot camp and you're implementing it. And those of you who really want to go the extra mile, who don't want to spend 9 years trying to build this design business thing, some of you have already spent 3 to 5 years and you haven't made it anywhere. That is my goal, is to really bring it together and have it happen in 2 or 3 years, which is a very realistic timeline for starting a smart design business. Now, 3 years where you're like unsupervised and you just kind of go off and do your thing, that's one thing. 3 years, I know in my Design Suite program, we can make sure that you're in the right places, that you're doing the right things, and that you're making smart moves. So that's really what I'm after, is making sure that you're making smart moves. So I want you to stop ignoring the business part of your design business. Now, what does the business part entail? That's the part that everyone's like, I don't understand. Like, I'm designing. Isn't that what I do? Isn't that the business? Not even close. That is the implementation of the product in your business, right? But if you are actually owning a business, there's a piece that no one likes to talk about because it's so scary, and it's called sales. You have to make sales on your designs in order to make money. That's the business part. And everything around that, the strategies with getting into shops, getting contracts, understanding how to sell those designs, understanding the digital proofs and previews that you have to make, understanding the production. So what kind of zips do they need to have? What kind of spot colors do I need to use when I'm turning this in as a physical product? So there's all these pieces in the actual business part that most people don't understand or know how to do. And especially my favorite is graphic designers who come to me and say, well, I have a graphic design degree, I know how to do all that. And almost always they do not, because they've never experienced it. They've never worked for a company. They've never done the production piece of it. They haven't spent very much time in RGB versus CMYK. It's very fascinating to me. They don't understand bleed sizes. Because just because you have a graphic design degree doesn't mean you actually know how to design for a specific niche industry. And if you want to hear a little more about that, you should listen to the episode I do with McKenna Blanthorne, who is my social media manager, and we talk about what really gets taught in a graphic design degree for college, because she has one and recently has one. So it was kind of fun to talk to her about that. So I want you to stop ignoring the business in your design business. Can you do that for me? I know you can, because if you can start thinking about the strategies, the marketing, the selling, the digital previews, everything that is involved with the actual thing, and I'm not talking about, and I know a lot of you immediately went to social media. You were like, yep, I'm gonna go to social media. That's audience building, you guys, and that might be a strategy or plan, but for most designers, that's actually not a fruitful one. There are all these things that you can actually do to start selling your products, and it has nothing to do with social media. That's not a great business strategy for new designers. That's a great influencer strategy if you're an influencer, but designers, we do things a little bit differently. So if you want to learn more, I'd love to see you in a design boot camp. Those of you who've already been to one, we have something coming up that I think you're going to be really interested in called the Profitable Designer Workshop. And it's happening in September. We've never done it before. It's really for people who've been to design boot camp, who want the next level but haven't come into Design Suite, to give you more information about becoming a profitable designer. So just kind of some of those steps and strategies for business. If you're interested in that, please go visit my website at carinagardnercourses.com, and I can't wait to see you there. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.